Hi, Jonathan Cross from Atlanta, Georgia. Company is Revolution Weaponry. It's a small custom firearm company. So it's in the Air Force, about my halfway mark. I was watching Sons of Guns and American Guns on TV. I was like, hey, I'd like to do a business where, I grow a business while my family helps and that kind of thing. That got me into firearms. Got off active duty and found a gunsmithing school. Went to school, classically trained gunsmith, and it all started from there about 10, 12 years ago. So your operations manager, Shane, big old smile at SHOT Show a couple of years ago, drew me in. I've been looking for a laser for a couple of years, trying to compare cost versus functionality. And Shane really, had that personal touch of talking and really trying to find out what my business needed. He coached me through and showed me what kind of products I needed for my business. The guys at SHOT Show really made a difference. They're more personable. Also your team, we do a lot of Cerakote. The team there is really wonderful, a lot of support afterwards. And you can tell that they're passionate about the business. You want somebody who's, not just a good salesperson, but is interested in what they're doing. You can tell we got a lot of gun guys here in the shop. So I see the most benefit in a lot of the little custom one-offs. Some of your larger projects may take a little bit longer, but during the day, it's the one-off little items that provide that little custom touch for the customer. That's where I see, myself over the next couple of months. Plus, you have to learn all of those things, incorporate what you've learned in class, really get comfortable with your laser before you get adventurous. So just in the beginning, the little trinkets and swag and stuff. And I like what you've done with the place where I can go around the building and see a lot of cool ideas, right? And I can point stuff out to the trainers and they'll go, yeah, this is how we did that, right? So we saw, some 3D printing stuff that John is now showing us today. We're going over the common mistakes the first couple of days where you're like, wait a second, it's not doing the same thing you did on day one. What did I select? Or, what is a programism that'll help you get to those things? But I like walking around the building and seeing all the creativity here, right? And being able to generate ideas that I can bring back home with me. It's not just firearms in the building. There's a lot of art, there's movie posters, there's social media stuff. And I like that I can walk around the building and everybody's excited to see me and basically teach me kind of their section and what's going on. So it's not just a come learn, light burn kind of course. It's a whole building full of ideas and creativity. There's a couple pieces of advice. One, you get what you pay for. I find that you're buying a lot of stuff on Amazon and you're not buying things, you're kind of renting them because they're going to break on you. They're not quality materials. The most important thing is the support structure that you and I've been talking about, the help afterwards. I do hear and believe your team when they say, hey, no question is too stupid, no problem is too small, please call us and reach out. And we have. It took me a couple of years because of the poor support from some of the other systems. And there's a lot on the market too. You really want to go with people you trust and that I said, are passionate about the industry and want to grow their business, right? Because they'll bring you with them. We've had a couple talks this week on, why your team stays so engaged. And it's because they love what they do. And that's who I want to network with. I'm not worried about cost, right? I'm worried about result. I don't pay for a service, I pay for a result. And I get that with your team. That's my biggest piece of advice. Find the network that comes with the product you're buying. We're about to buy a 3D printer, and that's something we looked into as well. Online support, the Reddit forum, the forums, the reviews. Time after time, your team gets really good reviews. So again, that's my top piece of advice. One thing I knew coming here as well, as soon as I heard you had a social media department and online presence, it only helps us to support each other's businesses online. The internet just rewards you for having those interactions. So learning more about that and cutting through those opinions to find out what actually works, that was invaluable.